everybody, welcome back. We've got another video today. We're going to be showing you a little bit about our electrical system. Well, Joe is, because I don't know anything about it. But we're going to go through kind of all the parts of it, right, and how it works.
Yeah, we'll walk through everything, kind of show you a few of the systems I have, kind of how it's put together. We'll draw up a schematic on a piece of paper again, put at the end of the video, so it can hopefully make a little more sense.
And we're just kind of snuggled in. It's raining, so we got the whole fam. There's the dogs.
Go.
We have 2 beds, but they choose to share. But it's kind of cute. So anyway, yeah. So we'll go ahead and get into that, and then once again, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. If you have any questions about what we talk about today, please put them in the comments so that we can go through and read them, hopefully answer them. And if you have anything else that you'd like to see about the bus, just let us know that as well. And we got a list of videos we want to do, but it's just taking us a while. So yeah, thanks.
And today has been a perfect day to do a video because it is raining and cold, and we've been stuck inside the bus, which has been great because it's nice and warm in here.
We can cuddle.
So to start, I'll show everybody where all of the, well, most of the electrical stuff is. Jess, will you scoot over?
I guess.
This is probably the most uneasy place to get to, but we get to it the least amount, so it's a good spot. Underneath where Jessica sleeps is our batteries and our inverters, kind of dark down there. Our DC to DC charger, which we just did last week, I think. I'll talk about that. And then, keep holding the bed, Jess. Under our door where we usually keep our laundry, we have a few more things. This is our panel box for the AC circuit when we're plugged into shore power. This one is, hold on. Oh, that's a little better. So we have the charge controller for the solar panels, and then that clump of wire is the fuses for the DC circuit. And then, real quick, while I'm underneath here, we have this outlet that runs off of the shore power when we're plugged in, and then I have a little trickle charger going to my solar batteries, so when we're plugged in I can always keep my solar batteries maintained off the shore power. It's not a very strong one, but it does enough to keep them maintained. We have 2 200 amp hour AGM batteries from Renogy. I use pretty much Renogy for all of my electrical stuff. The 2 builds that me and Jess did. Pretty much everything in the bus is from Renogy. We love that brand. We've done it on a few of our own projects. Some projects for friends, family. I really like using them because their customer service is awesome and warranty's good. Make everything super easy. Owner's manuals are super easy to understand. We got the 2 200 amp hour Renogy batteries, a 100 watt inverter, and then this DC to DC charger allows me to charge the solar system from my engine. So if we're ever traveling at night, we can turn that on and make sure everything's running good and has full power, even though there's no sunshine. The way that I did this solar system and my power system is they're separate. My solar system and my shore power system are completely separate, except for that little charger that I talked about. So this one has all of my breakers like you'd kind of see in a normal house for the different outlets and the fridge. And then that fuse box runs all of the DC power stuff, like our lights and our fans and our water pumps, all that good stuff. And everything's labeled, as you can see. Makes it super easy when you're trying to figure out why something's not working. We got Jessica all put back in her spot so you can finish editing photos. Up here in our little media area, we have 2 outlets. One's labeled shore, one's labeled solar. So the solar outlet will run off our inverter, and the shore outlet's only powered when we're plugged in to shore power. We found it's the easiest to keep everything separate. Then if you have shore power, it's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? So if you are plugged into shore power, just a little extra convenience that we can use and not have to have the inverter on all the time. Even though this solar system, we can pretty much run off of it exclusively and not have to be plugged in. Over above the bed, we have our little charging station for like our phones. It has 4 USB ports on it and an on and off switch, so if we're not using it, we can turn it off, conserve some power. So out here in the kitchen living room area, we have a similar setup like we did in the bedroom. One outlet that says solar, one that says shore. And just like in the bedroom, the solar one runs off our inverter. This power station here is off the inverter. And as you can see, it's well used. We charge a lot of stuff off of that. I'd get on the roof and show you the solar panels again, but we showed those in another video. And it's really cold and rainy outside. We're getting snow on the mountains on the other side of the lake, which is awesome. You can barely see it right now. But earlier today there was a nice break in the clouds and you could see the peak. Looks like they're getting a lot of snow. Alright, here's my little drawing. I got my 4 100-watt solar panels. They go into the charge controller, which goes to the batteries. And then from the batteries, you can go to my inverter. That goes to the junction box where all the wires are tied together. And then I got the outlet by the table, by the kitchen, and by the bedroom. And then my UV light, since it's underneath the bed, that goes directly into my inverter, made it a little bit easier to wire. And then over here we have the DC to DC charge controller. So where that comes from is my starter batteries on the bus, goes through the controller and then into my solar batteries. And it has a wire that goes up to a kill switch on my dash so I can control when it's on and off. The instructions say to put it to the ignition circuit so it doesn't accidentally come on and drain your starter batteries, which I wanted to be able to decide when it's charging or not. So what I did, excuse me, Rook, is in the cab I have this switch right here, and that will turn the charger on if my engine's running. I got the one that has this protective safety cover over it so it doesn't accidentally ever come on. So from the DC fuse box that goes to the USBs by the bed, the 2 roof fans, all of my lights, my 3 water pumps, the diesel heater, the exhaust fan for the composting toilet, the ignition spark wire for the stovetop, the ignition spark wire for the oven. And then for my shore power, you have a 20 amp plug, which is like a normal wall plug that you see. Makes it super easy to find places to plug in. Plus my circuit's small enough that I don't need like a big RV plug on it. So from the shore power, it comes into my breaker box. And then from my breaker box, it goes to my fridge, the outlet for the bedroom, the outlet in the kitchen. And then I have an outlet underneath the bed that trickle charger is plugged into. So that trickle charger goes from that outlet back up into my solar batteries just to help maintain power while I'm plugged in somewhere. And the best way I found to figure out what size of wire you need for everything, how big a fuse you need for everything, is the instruction booklet. It's the easiest way. Renogy, all of my stuff, like I said, is Renogy for the most part on my solar system, and they always have in their instruction booklets a guide for how long you're running your wires, how big your wires need to be, how big of a fuse you need, all that stuff.